Hey, what's up, everybody? So this is the first video I've ever done before. So pardon if I'm not, proper lighting. You can't really hear me, all that kind of stuff. I've never done this before. So yeah. Anyways, my name is Zach. The reason that I wanted to make this video is because I've kind of fallen into this whole vibe of, wanting to be involved with cryptocurrency. I actually own a small business right now. I own a custom car paint shop. We do wraps. We're actually expanding, or I should say I'm expanding the business currently right now. So I have a little bit of downtime while the new location, while I get the accounting set up and the permits and construction, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I got a little downtime. I kind of fell into this whole cryptocurrency, watched some documentaries, and really just been doing lots of research on Steemit, on YouTube, on Google. I mean, all over the place, just been reading into it. And again, I've kind of just fallen, obsessed, so to speak, which is a good thing. I mean, when you obsess over something, I think that, that means you're interested, you want to get involved, and, you do the research you need to do to figure out how to be involved in it and be successful at it. I mean, that's the goal, is to be successful. So I wrote down kind of like a little list, of things I wanted to go over in this initial video. And then, as far as the next video, I don't know. If you have questions, I can answer those. If you'd like to see more videos, obviously subscribe. I hope to do videos very often. Maybe every day. I don't know how, popular it's going to be, or if it's even going to be worth my while. I do know I'm going to make quite a few videos. I don't like to give up on things. I'm very, persistent and that kind of thing. So, yeah. So that's an introduction about me, cryptocurrency. Now, since I've been involved, or since I got involved, or I shouldn't even say I'm really involved, since I got interested in cryptocurrency, I've been talking a lot about it with, family, my girlfriend, friends, and what's funny about cryptocurrency is it's so small of a community still, even to this day, even though it's been out, Bitcoin's been out since like 2010, or maybe even earlier than that. I think 2010 was the first transaction. So even before that, so that's 8 years since the first transaction of Bitcoin was done. And still, I talk to my friends and family about it, and they're like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I was, just a short time ago. But for instance, like when I talk to my grandmother about it, she's like, it just doesn't make sense. It's so weird. It doesn't, how do you justify, something you can't see or touch or whatever? And I'm like, but I bet you thought the same way about the internet, right? Or cell phones, or, money in general. Like the dollar bill was probably weird to people when it was first introduced, right? You know what I mean? Like, the biggest thing I always try and stress is like the internet. Like, we don't think of the world without internet now, right? Like we can't picture a world without internet today. But just 10 years ago or 20 years ago, you know what I mean? The internet, it didn't affect our day-to-day lives. We carry around smartphones every day that we can check our bank accounts, we can order stuff, we can, talk to our friends across the country instantly, and now that's normal. But years ago, that wasn't normal. That's kind of how cryptocurrency is today. It's still very new to, majority of the people. And I do want to, before I go any further, I do want to say shout out to Trevon James, because your videos, you, Crypto Nick, you guys were kind of like the people who I started watching, and then I became more and more interested. So shout out to you guys for kind of getting me involved, and hopefully one day my videos will get other people involved, or I can introduce people in my personal life to cryptocurrency. So what is cryptocurrency? All right, so the most common cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the first. It's currently the largest. Everyone's been talking about it a lot lately because it's, it just hit $6,000. It went back down, but hit $6,000 for one Bitcoin. Back again, if you go back to when it started, it wasn't worth anything, right? Because there was no value, and no one knew what it was worth. So everyone talks about the pizza that was bought for 10,000 Bitcoins. And today that would be like a I don't know, $6 million pizza. I don't know I never really factored in what it would be, but it's crazy how the value's gone up. So now everyone's talking about it. Now, Bitcoin, there's only so many Bitcoins that are going to be available, which is kind of, if you think about the dollar bill used to be backed by gold. Now, there was only so much gold available until they mined more gold. When they mined more gold, they would print more money. Well, those days are long gone. Everyone knows that. And the dollar bill is not backed by anything anymore, and it's just, they literally just print more and more. They can print more as much as they want to. So that again has made the value of the dollar go down, because it's literally like monopoly money, so to speak. Obviously, a dollar's worth a dollar, but what you can buy with a dollar is justified by how much a dollar's worth. Now, so Bitcoin, there's only so many that are available, or I should say, there's only so many out right now, and there's only going to be so many available eventually. I believe it's 81 million, correct me if I'm wrong, or 21 million, I forget the number, I'm sorry, I should have wrote that down, but I believe it's not going to be till 2140 or by the time they all come out. Again, I should have wrote down my facts before I started saying all these numbers, but just understand that there's only going to be so many Bitcoins available, and that's what keeps the value of the Bitcoin continually to rise. Now, how do you get a Bitcoin? Well, there's multiple ways. One, you can obviously trade a dollar value. So you could take, let's say Bitcoin's worth $5,500 today. You could take $5,500 of cash, use a purchasing system like Coinbase. If you check below the link, there's a Coinbase link. Coinbase, you literally link up your bank account or debit card. You would exchange the dollar currency for that much Bitcoin. Now, people are like, well, I don't have $5,000 to buy one Bitcoin. Well, you don't have to buy one whole Bitcoin. You could buy half a Bitcoin. You could buy a tenth of a Bitcoin. You could buy a 100th of a Bitcoin. Whatever the dollar value is would be how much Bitcoin you get. So the Bitcoin is broken up into, multiple decimal. It can go, you could buy $5 worth of Bitcoin if you wanted to. Now, again, how is it produced? So that's one, or how can you get them? That's one way you can get them. The other way is through mining. Now, people think of mining as like mining gold, and that's kind of why they named it that. But also, mining is a system of using computers. Now, Bitcoin, I should have said this previously, but again, sorry, this is my first video. Maybe this should be multiple videos. Bear with me. Bitcoin is not monitored by a government. It's not monitored by a central banking agency. It's not monitored by anything. Or I shouldn't say not anything, but no centralized group controls Bitcoin. So that means you don't have to pay fees. You don't have to pay the government fees to buy Bitcoin or whatever the case might be. Bitcoin is monitored by miners, which are a network of computers all over the world. They monitor all these transactions of Bitcoins. They monitor how many Bitcoins are out there. Everything is anonymous, but it's all tracked. Now, these computers get paid to monitor all this or to break down all these transactions. And they get rewarded every 10 minutes. New Bitcoins are produced. Right now, it's 12.5 Bitcoins are produced every 10 minutes and distributed to all the miners that are involved with monitoring all the transactions. Now, back to not being tracked or not being monitored by a central banking system. If I were to send you a Bitcoin, and you were to send me a Bitcoin, whatever the transaction might be, there is no cost associated with that because there's no middleman, there's no PayPal, there's no bank, there's no anything. It's a transaction between two people. That's kind of the reason Bitcoin was brought about, because the people were sick of, banks taking money. First of all, the central banking system, all the money is controlled by, the central banks and all this other stuff. And they thought this was kind of ridiculous because, you're paying a third party to basically be a middleman, and you're required to do that because you really have no other choice. And that's where Bitcoin kind of comes into place. Same with like PayPal. Like everyone's like, oh, send money through PayPal. Well, if you actually send money through PayPal, you're probably going to pay PayPal fees because PayPal is doing the transaction. Now, does that transaction cost anybody? It's all computerized. It's all, automated? Probably not, but that's how PayPal makes money. Bitcoin is not a company. It's not made to make money. It's basically a entity of providing, giving people back the power of controlling their own money and doing what they want with their money. Now, that being said, again, all transactions on Bitcoin are all anonymous. They're all, encoded, and there's no, if you gave me money or I gave you money, there's, transaction details, but there's no names associated. So no one knows that money was exchanged, because why should anyone know? The only reason people know, today, if you trade $1 for this is because they want money from that transaction. So Bitcoin is all anonymous. It's all, you can't, they can't take the money back. It's really a system put in place to be able to give you the control to do whatever you want with your money, without having to pay somebody else as a middle person, or without having it tracked by a third party because they want money somehow, some way. It's kind of complicated, and it really isn't. It sounds really, really complicated, but it really isn't. For example, the other day, this is kind of like reassured me of why I want to be involved with cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency is basically an overall term for cryptocurrency because it's encrypted. Again, it's all anonymous, it's encrypted. So I went to the bank. I got basically a check from Scottrade because I cashed out some of my stock, because I used to be involved with stock, and I think that's why I'm getting involved with this, is because I like the idea of making money, trading and that kind of stuff. Anyways, long story short, I got a check from Scottrade of the money that I had in an account. I took it to the bank to deposit it, because that's how that's what you do with a check. You can't do anything with a check until you put it into a bank, right? I give it to the bank, and they say, oh, well, we're going to put a hold on this check for 14 days. Why? Why are you going to put a hold on a check for 14 days? That's my money. I earned it here. I brought it to you guys so that I could use it, and now you guys are going to hold it for 14 days. What if I need that cash today to pay a bill? Or what if I wanted that cash today to go out to dinner? Or what if whatever. And that's the banking system taking control of your money. You earned it. You got it however you got it. And now the banking system is going to take it. Who knows what they're going to do with it? They might, make interest off of it for 14 days before they want to give it to you, whatever the case might be. It's completely ridiculous, and it totally pissed me off that day. And I was like, wow, I am so ready to be beyond this. It's not even funny. Overdraft fees. You ever had an overdraft fee? Well, how did you feel about that when that happened? You're probably pissed off because, and there's no overdraft fees with Bitcoin, obviously, because if you don't have the money in your account, you're not going to do that transaction, and you can't go negative. There's no bank account that's going to go negative. The only reason you have overdraft fees is because that's how banks make money. ATM withdrawals. Again, all these things that the bank uses to make money off of you. It's your money, and now they're making money off of you because you're using their service. The only reason you're using their service is because you have to. When your job pays you in a check, what do you have to do with it? You can't go to dinner with your check and say, hey, here's my money, go ahead and give me change, right? You have to cash it out at a bank. Here's another great example. I went to pay my lease on the new building, first, and or a security deposit, whatever the case might be. So I take, whatever the amount of money it was a couple thousand or whatever. I take that to the bank in cash. I give it to the bank teller. Now I have to pay them a fee to get a bank check written. Okay. So I have to, you get what I'm saying? Like you're just paying this, you're constantly paying the banks in fees and all this stuff to transfer your money from just, it's not like I'm sending the money around the world. I'm literally giving it to my landlord or to this person or that person, but yeah, I'm paying somebody in the middle to be involved when they don't even need to be involved, right? I guess I could have, used that cash to pay the lease, but it's just, my point is that, the banking system is just constantly a third party that wants a piece of the money involved. And with cryptocurrency, there is no third party involved. And again, I go back to Bitcoin because that's the most popular one. There are quite a few different, what are called altcoins, which are new and upcoming currencies. Or I shouldn't say not all of them are new, but there are other forms of cryptocurrency out there, Litecoin, Ethereum. You can check them all out. There's quite a few of them. It's just Bitcoin is the most popular because it was the first. So it's obviously the most valuable. It's got the highest price, but there are plenty of them out there. So now back to how do I get Bitcoin, or how do I get cryptocurrency? So you can obviously buy it with cash. That's one way. Another way that you can get it is through mining. Back to the mining. Now, you can take your everyday computer, go to a website called NiceHash, or, I'm not endorsing them, but there's plenty of websites that you can go to, download a mining program. And basically with that program, you're allowing your computer to join in with other people to track all these transactions all over and to basically support the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency system. Now, the problem with this is that you're basically using your GPU, your video card, to decode these transactions, and then every 10 minutes again, it's split by who did the most work, so to speak. So the problem with this is that your everyday computer is not probably going to do shit. For instance, I took a laptop here, I put that on, and I let that go overnight, and it basically got me back 0.0001. So it would literally take, I don't know, years to produce one Bitcoin, which I guess if you have computers lying around that aren't doing anything, maybe it's worth it, but most likely due to the power that the computer is taking, you're not generating anything. So what you can do is you can go and buy a mining computer. Now, you can buy what's called an ant miner, and it's basically a computer dedicated to mining. You hook it up to the internet, and it's going to basically mine for you and then deposit what it mines into your wallet. I'll get into the wallet in a minute. Now, the cost of those machines can be, generally speaking, I see them online for about $3,000. I think if you buy it brand new, but you have to buy the power supply and all that stuff, I believe it's $1,500 plus the power supply to buy these. And I think you break even within, I don't know, the first 6 months or something like that, and then everything after that is profit. Now, keep in mind, these things are very powerful computers. They suck up a lot of electricity. So what you need to do is, if you're planning on purchasing one of these computers, get the specs, get your electric rate, and then factor all that together and then see if it's worthwhile. Also, keep in mind, these machines are very hot and they're very loud. So do your research on that and see if that's right for you. Again, I mean, if you have that kind of investment that you're looking to do, that you want to buy some of these, it might be worthwhile. Maybe it'll put a couple $100 at the end of the month into your pocket. I mean, that stuff adds up. That's the way I look at it. If you have the space to run, 2-3 of these machines, you could be paying for your car or this, that, you know what I mean? Like it's residual income that's constantly coming in. You're paying the electric, obviously, but you are making profit. And that's what it's all about. So you can do that. You can basically set up your own mining system. Now, another way to do it is have somebody else mine for you, which is called cloud mining. Cloud mining is using somebody like Genesis Mining, which you can visit the link below. And then you pay them to buy a 2-year contract. So you're giving them, let's say, $100. So you're giving them $100. They're going to tell you, okay, you're going to hash. Hashing is like mining, or hash power is mining power. So they're going to give you this much mining power for 2 years, and that's going to produce. You can basically calculate that on another website, how much money you're going to get back from that. those are always profitable. You can always make money off of that. So let's say if you did $100 and it's going to produce $5, a week. I don't know. Do the calculations on your own. You might make your 100 back in 6 months or 7 months or whatever, and then everything after that's income. And you're not doing anything. You don't pay for electric, you don't pay maintenance. You literally just give them the set amount, and then they're going to give you back income residually. Now, what's great about these mining contracts is that, like I said, they're 2 years. So when you buy that contract at that $100 and you get, let's say, 50 hash power, let's say in a couple weeks or whatever, you want to put more into it, you can put another $100 and then increase your hash power, and then so on and so forth and so on and so forth. So you're increasing your power, and then you're basically increasing your income. So there's a lot more to it. And basically, when you're cloud mining, you're paying a mining farm or a business that has set up, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these mining computers to just constantly mine. So what you're doing is you're funding them, and then they're giving you a long-term return. I would definitely, I put the link in the description. Check out Genesis Mining. If you want to get involved, definitely click the link below. If you buy or if you invest with the code that I put below, you're going to get 3% back. So if you put, 3%, I believe it is. So if you put 100, you're going to get 103. That's a small amount, but if you did 1,000, it's, $30 back. It's definitely worth your time to check out if you're interested in this. And then, so let's go to the wallet. So you could purchase your coin with, Coinbase. I also put a link there. You're going to get $10 if you buy 100. So Coinbase is a way to get your dollars that you have now into the Bitcoins, and then you can use the Bitcoins to then buy your hash power, or you can use your credit card to buy hash power or bank account, whatever. So Genesis Mining is really great. Right now, I believe you can only mine 3 different things, but I'm pretty sure October, end of this month, the 31st, you're going to be able to do Bitcoins again, Litecoins again, and I forget what the third one was. I have to check. But Bitcoins and Litecoins are very profitable, especially Bitcoins. So, your return on investment could be pretty good. And like I said, definitely follow the link for everything below, guys, if you want to get involved. It really helps me out. Again, this is my first video. I hope to make plenty of them for you guys. And then, so now we come to, let me talk about a wallet for a second. So a wallet is, I use Exodus because that's what Trevon used. I'm not sure what Nick used, but it's really cool. So Exodus, Google Exodus wallet. Your Bitcoin wallet is downloaded to your computer. Once you have it, it's yours. It's not like a wallet you carry around every day. It's not like an app that you log on your phone. Your wallet is your wallet. If it's gone, it's gone. It's literally houses everything. With this wallet, you can send Bitcoin to and from other people. It's as simple as getting their decrypt or encrypted address, and you send it to them. You can receive, and you can also exchange. So you can exchange Bitcoin to Litecoin, Litecoin to Bitcoin. It has all the currencies right there listed. It's a really cool. It's nice looking too. It's a real nice program, and again, you download it and you have it. That's kind of how you keep track of how much Bitcoin you have. And again, it's saved on your computer. It's all right there. And then these miners are the ones that are making sure everything's tracked. So all these ledgers of I have this many Bitcoin, you have that much, all that's tracked anonymously, and that's how they know that they keep track of the system. So now that we got the wallet out of the way, so what you need to do is go to Coinbase, exchange money into Bitcoin, transfer that Bitcoin from your Coinbase to your Exodus wallet. So now you have it. That's where it's safe. It's safe there. When it's in your wallet, you don't have to worry about it being hacked or anything like that. It is as safe can be. You can even make it more safe by buying a physical authenticator, which is basically whenever you log into that wallet, it's going to ask you to either plug in a USB, or you can download an app that'll give you a code that only you have. So again, it makes it super secure. That's another thing I like about Bitcoins, is everything is super, super safe. It's super open source. You would think that open source would be bad, but it is so encrypted and so safe. That it's literally, you would physically have to come into my house, steal my computer, steal my authenticator. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you can, like big companies all the time are getting like credit card numbers hacked and all this stuff, because they don't keep anything safe, because their job is to make money. It's not on safety. Bitcoin was not made to make money. It was made to, basically separate us, the people, from all these big companies who just want our money. They don't give a shit about us, honestly. I don't know if you think that big banks give a shit about you or your money. They like to think that they do, or they like to play like they do. You walk into a Citizens Bank and you bank there. Oh, hi, what's up, Zach? Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm sure if I get an overdraft fee, you're going to give me that money back, right? No, you're not, because you guys don't give a shit. All you're there is to make money. Sorry, that was a little bit of rant, but that's kind of how I feel about banks. Is they're just there to make your money off of your money, and you've earned that money. They have not earned that money in any ways, or in any way. So now let me get into another way you can make money with Bitcoin. Now this is a controversial subject, because there are a lot of people making money with this platform, and they're not making $100. They're not making $1,000. They are making hundreds of thousands of dollars with this platform. The platform is BitConnect. I'm sure a lot of people are already like, oh, it's a scam, it's a Ponzi scheme, it's this, it's that. Well, let me just say this. If I can make $100,000, or if I've watched somebody make $100,000 in a few months, I don't give a shit what it is. If I can get involved with it and not have any legal repercussions, not have anything seized or anything like that, I don't give a shit what it is. If my friend came up to me and said, "Hey, give me $10, I'm going to give you 1,000 at the end of the month," I'm going to give him $10. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel about it. I think this platform is in place. It has been proven by multiple people, and it's here for a while. I don't know if it'll be here forever. I don't know if someday it'll eventually shut down, if that day could be 10 years from now. I don't know, and I don't care, because right now it's working, and it's working very, very well. So now that I've got that part of the whole subject out of the way, BitConnect. I put a link in the bottom. If you're going to join, definitely click the link. Definitely check it out. I'm going to start, putting up my returns in videos, and that's what I'm going to talk about, is how it's going. BitConnect. What you do with BitConnect is you take your Bitcoins, you send them over to BitConnect, and then you transfer them, or you exchange them for BitConnect coins. BitConnect coins, I haven't checked today, but I believe they were at $200 yesterday. So you exchange them to your BitConnect coins, and then you lend them out. Let me actually pull up something, because I'm going to show you. It's kind of hard to, without the actual facts. And I'm doing this recording on a tablet, so maybe that'll change down the line. Again, this is the first time I've done this, so you kind of got to bear with it for now. And then, again, if things go well, or, I figure out a better way to do things, I'll do that. No problem with that. All right, so while this loads up, BitConnect, so you exchange your Bitcoins for BitConnect, and then you lend out the BitConnect. So basically, you're lending out your money like a bank would lend out their money, right? So if you went and got a loan from a bank, let's say they gave you $10,000, they would say, hey, this is the interest rate. Obviously, you sign up, da 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 da. Then the bank's making money off that interest rate, right? With BitConnect, you are the bank, basically. Let me just put in my info real quick. So you are the bank, so you're lending out your money and you're making back interest. Now that interest is basically dictated on a daily basis. And how it's dictated is when you lend out this money, BitConnect is using bots to trade all this money that's invested against the volatility of Bitcoin. So how it's trading, the volatility. So volatility is how much it goes up, how much it goes down. So if you invest your money and Bitcoin plummets, you're not losing your money. You're actually going to make a ton of interest because the bots have bought or sold during that time of it going up and down. So they're making money off of it basically performing. The only time you're not going to make money is if that Bitcoin stays, like, let's say it's 5,000, tomorrow it's 5,000, you're not going to make any money because there was no change. But if it goes from 5,000 to 5,500 and it's a $500 gap, they're making a ton of money off that, buy and sell. So you're going to get a large interest return on that. So you're basically making interest off of them using your money to make money. Now, how much money can you make? A fucking lot. At least a lot of, people are making a lot of money right now. Now let me show you this real quick. Oh, yeah, let me just, can I swap it? No, I can't swap the camera. Sorry, guys. All right, so yeah, I definitely will figure out a better way to make these videos down the line. All right, so if you invested $100, you're going to get the volatility software interest. So again, that's the volatility of Bitcoin for the day. So that can range, and I'll show you that in a second. Now, if you do $1,010 to $5,000, you're going to get that interest that I just talked about, plus an additional 0.1. Now, $5,010 to $10,000, you're going to get an extra 0.2, and then so on and so forth, 0.25 after $10,010. Now, that interest is paid out daily, okay? So let me just click this and show you guys some interest rates that have been paid back. That is paid back, again, daily. So 1.27%. So if you put $100 in, you made $1.27 today. Yes, or no, sorry, this is today, this is tomorrow. So today was 1.73. That was huge. So that means if you put $100 in, you got 1.7, you got $1.73 back. If you put $1,000 in, you got $10 and, $10.73 back, or $17.30 back. Sorry, guys. Now, as you can see here, there are some slower days like 0.04, 0.6 was okay. But these 0.04s were days that the Bitcoin didn't move much. So that's to be expected. Obviously, with any kind of market, not every day is a, crazy day. But you can also scroll down here. Again, click the link in my description so you can, check out BitConnect on your own as well. So you can see here interest rates that have been paid out. Let's do 1 year. Over the past year, some of these, this was almost 4.5% paid daily. These are all daily, guys. It generally floats right around 1%. Sometimes it goes up higher, but there are some huge spikes. This one was 4.8%, which is huge. I mean, this is daily. So if you had $100 in that day, you got $5 back. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that you didn't do anything to, get that. So you're putting in the money and you're just constantly getting a return. Now, here's the awesome part is if you got that $5 back, you can reinvest that. Now, I think the reinvestment is a minimum of $10. So the initial is $100 minimum, but every reinvestment is $10. So if you put $100 in, you're collecting your interest back, you can reinvest every $10 or $20 or whatever. It's a minimum of 10, and then start capital, getting back interest of the total. So, you have $100. Next thing you know, you have 110. So now instead of getting $1, you're getting $1.10 back, and you keep putting that into the system. That's how these people are making tons of money, because they're constantly putting back in. I've watched guys that started with $100 and they put in a couple more. Next thing you know, they have $1,000, and now it's growing even faster. Again, I go back to Trayvon James. He's got over $100,000 invested, and he's made over $400,000. Now, not all of that is from the returns, but a majority of it is, which is huge. Now, let me show you this. This is what will really, shock you. All right. So here, let's see if I got that right. Here is what is the projected earnings calculator. All right, so let's say you put in $1,000. Now with $1,000, I believe you have to. Now you do have to lock this money in, and it tells you that on the last page. 200, I think it's 49 days. Oh no, we want to do 1,010 because that's what puts you over that mark. 1,010. Let's calculate. You would get back a total of $3,625.50. Your profit is $2,615. Can you guys see that? That is insane. Now that's 249 days. So that's not like a crazy amount of time, and the profit is being paid out daily. So let me figure this out. Let me figure this out real quick. So 249 days, right? So let's do 26, 15, 50. So that's your profit. Now, after the 249 days, your initial 1,000 or whatever you put into it is going to come back. You know what I mean? It gets unlocked, and basically you have that back. So that number divided by 249 days. So you'd be making $10.50 every single day with just $1,000. With just 1,000. Now imagine if this were a higher number. Now, again, imagine this. Let's say you get that $10.50 every day. Let's say you reinvest that every single day. You're growing it, so it's constantly growing. So then that $10 adds another, X amount of money, and you just constantly compound it and compound it and compound it and compound it till eventually. Let me show you this. This is really crazy. Or I'll just read it off to you. It might be easier rather than moving this tablet around. I might do it with my cell phone next time. It might be easier. Let's say you put $50,000. Now, I know this is a lot of money, and a lot of people are like, yeah, screw that. But I kind of got a little bit of plans. I mean, with some money that I might come into or might try to come into, basically taking out a loan and then investing it. Now, if you took, I gotta show you guys this. If you took $50,000, so let me do a smaller number because it might be a little bit more realistic for people. Let me do 20,000. No, you know what? Let me make it even smaller. Let's do 15,000. Let's say you went and took out a personal loan for $15,000. Okay, completely doable. People take out loans, personal loans. Let's say you took out a $15,000 loan. You would break that into that 0.25 extra interest daily, and your loan term, the amount of time that this money is locked up, is only 120 days. So that initial 15,000 you invest it. That is locked up for 120 days. That means you can't take it out, you can't do anything with it, whatever. But at the end of the 120 days, that $15,000 gets unlocked, and you have it right back just like you put it in there. I gotta show you guys this. Can you guys see that? You would profit $21,420 in 120 days. Now, I don't know what you guys do for work or how much income you produce or how much you take, or how much money you have saved up or any of that kind of stuff. But $21,000 for doing absolutely nothing besides literally clicking a couple buttons is fucking awesome. No, there's no, oh, I'm going to put my money in and then the market crashes or something like that. No, there's none of that. There's no, you're literally investing the money, letting them do their thing, and you get paid whether it goes up or down. There's no losing, if the value goes down or whatever, you get your $15,000 back no matter what. 15,000 US dollars, not 15,000 Bitcoin. You put in 15,000 in, you get 15,000 back and your profit. So let's figure this out. So you're going to make, if you put 15,000 in for 120 days, okay, your profit is 21,420. Your total return is 36,420, obviously, because you get your 15 back. So now $21,420, okay, just so I could show you guys that, divided by 120 days. That's what you would take daily. Now that daily amount is not guaranteed because that's factored on those percentages. But what I did here is put in the average of 6 months, which 120 days is less than 6 months. So you might even, get better than that. $178. So you're going to get $178 a day for doing absolutely nothing. Now, again, I did 15,000. You can imagine if I did 50,000, this is what's going to blow your mind. Let's say you had $50,000 laying around, or you could get a $50,000 loan. That's crazy. Your profit is 71,400. That's what you would profit in 120 days. So let's calculate that. 71,400 divided by 120 days. $595 in profit every single day for 120 days. I mean, come on. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't anyone want to do that? That's what drives me nuts, is because whenever I try and explain this to people, not like I'm doing right now, hopefully you guys are like seeing this and this is, like, holy shit, I want to do that. And I would hope you'd want to, because I do. It's like, whenever I explain to people, they're like, oh, how can it be real? How can whatever? It is real. People are doing this and people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Go to Trayvon James's page. He just bought a 2018 Audi Q6. Okay, that's not a cheap vehicle. I don't know if you guys are car people. I'm a car person. I should throw my buddy's, brand up here. Brokies, my buddy's car. I own a car garage. I do custom car paint. I'll get into that in another video, but that's a very nice vehicle. And he bought that with the money he's made from doing this. Now, again, I go back to everyone's, oh, it's a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. What the fuck ever it might be, it doesn't really matter because people are making money off of this. And the reason that, everyone's not doing it is because they don't know about it. People don't believe in Bitcoin yet because it's not every day. Even though what I want you to do after this, if you're not sure about Bitcoin, if you're not sure about BitConnect, go to this website, click the link below, go to BitConnect, sign up, put $100 in. That's the minimum that you can put in. Put $100 in. You're gonna get, $1 back every day. Your money, your $100 is gonna be tied up for a while, but you're gonna get, you're gonna get returns. You're gonna get $1 back, or tomorrow's projected $1.70 if you put $100 in. $1.70. Watch that add up. Then when you get to $10, reinvest that. When you get to $10 more, reinvest that. When you get to the next $10, reinvest that. I forget the YouTuber, but he did a chart of all the interest based on an average interest and day one $100, and I believe it was like day, if you keep putting the money back in, I believe it was like day 60 or something like that. He was at, a couple $100 or maybe even 1,000, I forget. But the money will grow, and you'll constantly grow it with that reinvestment. I mean, it's astronomical that people are jumping all over this, and they are, but they're not millions of people jumping over this because they don't know about it. So what I was going to say is that if you're not sure about Bitcoin, there's a documentary on Bitcoin on TV or on Netflix. It's called Banking on Bitcoin. Watch that. That's a good place to see the beginning of Bitcoin, where it's gone. It's going to talk about Silk Road. It's going to talk about the market and all these regulations because the federal government wants to get involved. It's kind of pretty cool. You should definitely check it out. Another thing to do is Google who accepts Bitcoin. People are like, oh, how am I going to spend it? I believe Amazon accepts Bitcoin. eBay accepts Bitcoin. There's car dealerships that accept Bitcoin. There's, I believe, who else does it? I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sites that accept Bitcoin now. And they're only going to grow. I mean, there's hundreds, literally 1-800-Flowers. I was like, what the hell? I mean, it will be everywhere. It'll be everywhere just like the internet is. It'll be everywhere just like the dollar bill is. It'll be everywhere because it's a global currency. It's a global currency. It's not a dollar bill that's only good for, American, vendors that you then have to change over to a yen or, a peso or whatever the case might be. It's a global currency, which means it's going to grow even faster and it's going to grow even stronger because it's accepted everywhere. So yeah, 46-minute video. This is way longer than I anticipated. It was a lot of information covered. I'm sure I'll do other videos to break down some of these sections that I've talked about. If you have any questions, please ask them below. I will definitely respond to you. Please like and share this video. I hope to make tons of videos about this. I might even make some other channels. I've always wanted to do vlogs. Back in the day, I used to make videos for video gaming. I might get back into that, but right now my computer's down. And again, I own a business, so I might get into some videos with that as well. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, all those things definitely help me out. Check the links below. Please follow the links below. Check out all the information. If you have any questions, again, feel free to ask. And for now, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.